few months ago, I released a post-mortem video of my failed Steam Next Fest launch, and I received a lot of honest feedback. First off, thank you all for watching and taking the time to provide that feedback. It was a tough read to read some of the feedback, but it was the reality check that I needed. It helped me realize where BugSquash fits in my journey, and more importantly, where I want to go next. Second, this video was a long time coming. I really wanted to make this sooner, but long story short, life happened, and I just didn't have the same time that I used to have. But it's here now. Hope you enjoy watching this update on my game dev journey. Now, I had a lot of mixed feedback regarding whether I should invest more time into BugSquash or move on to the next project, whatever that may be. I've decided to compromise a little bit and add some final touches, but not invest heavily into it, as I'm honestly itching to continue with a new project. BugSquash was ultimately an idea that I thought was a simple concept and could encompass several skills that I could learn and refine within game development. I accomplished that, and I am perfectly fine with releasing it as is with some final improvements. In a way, it helps that I can look back on it several years from now and see how my games have evolved over the years. So now I'll be showing you all the improvements that I've implemented. The swatting experience overall has been improved, less frustrations and more impact. The hitbox has been increased, and also I've added a couple of visual tweaks to give it a bit more oomph. Upon impact, the player screen will flash, and you also notice a screen shake effect. These are small tweaks but makes the overall swatting experience much more satisfying. I've also added a new feature I like to call boss bugs, which are boss versions of the bugs that you're squashing. Larger and more HP, these boss bugs have a chance to spawn during your swatting adventures. You'll see an alert when one spawns, and squashing it will yield bonus money. There is now a chance that you'll encounter some procedurally generated properties, and infestation mode will always generate a random property. I played around with this idea for a bit, and I felt that it provided some novelty to each bug squashing session, as having the same layouts each time did start to feel a little bland. While I did not decide to do a complete overhaul of the visuals, I did play around with some of the settings in Godot to tweak the visuals, such as shadows and lighting. I decided against completely overhauling the visuals because this alone would take quite a bit of time, and I'd rather spend that time on a new project. Since I am still learning, if I decide to overhaul the visuals, I'll feel like I'll end up in a never-ending cycle of tweaking the visuals because I'll be learning something new along the process and I'll want to tweak the visuals again. I'd much rather use my new skills in a new project, and then I can have a historical view of my projects over time and how my visuals have evolved. I'm happy to announce that BugSquash was released June 1st, 2026. It's a time capsule for me, a record of where I was as a developer in 2026. While I have listed all the final tweaks I've made to BugSquash in this video, I'm happy to address feedback. If BugSquash happens to attract a large enough audience, there is a chance that BugSquash will continue to enjoy additional updates. Alright, so now you're probably wondering what's next. The main takeaway I got: art direction is important. This makes sense, as art is always what the players will see first, and makes that first impression. This is something I'll be looking to improve and establish. What makes this somewhat tricky though is that art is quite subjective. I realize that, while art is subjective, clarity and style are not. My goal for the next project is to move away from placeholder looks towards a more intentional, cohesive style from day one. Now, as for my next project, I'm looking to continue with 3D as I do enjoy working with Blender, and I also like to continue improving my 3D skills. I have some ideas on what I'd like to work on next, and I'll be dropping a prototype reveal in the future, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Your interest in my game dev journey really means a lot. If you haven't already, please give this video a like, as it really helps my channel and exposure as a video game developer. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next update.